Hi, I'm Carrie Coppernall. I'm a reporter with the Oklahoman, and I'm here today with Brian Acone, Interim Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Zoo. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, tell me why and when are the elephants leaving the zoo?
Well, when is a quick answer. They're going to be leaving sometime early this summer. We haven't worked out the exact date. The why is a little more detailed. We have two female Asian elephants, and they are 13. They're going to be 13 and 14. And they've been recommended by the AZA's species survival plan to be bred, to have offspring, to add to the genetic population of elephants throughout North American institutions. And they rank very high as far as they're not as related to the rest of the population, so they're very important to get their genetics represented. And fortunately for us, fortunately for Oklahoma even, is that at Tulsa Zoo, their male or their bull elephant is ranked as the #1 male to be bred to get his genetics into the population as well. So they're just up the road. So we're going to be sending our two females up to be with their male and their two females as well, so they can be bred, and we can bring them back here with a brand new state-of-the-art beautiful exhibit where they can have the offspring here, and we can grow our herd as well at the Oklahoma City Zoo.
So tell me, when are they going to be coming back?
There's a lot of factors that play into that. Elephants are very social animals, but they have trepidations initially about new animals. So there's going to be a time where they get to Tulsa that first they have to be introduced to the females up there, so they can see each other, but they're not in contact. They can get used to each other and figure out that they like each other. And then males normally in the wild are solitary, and they're that way here in zoos as well. And so they'll be introduced to Sneezy, who's the bull up in Tulsa, in the same manner, make sure that everything's okay, that they like each other. So there's not an exact timeline to how that's done. So what we've done is we have a window of opportunity. We're hoping August, September of 2010 is our goal date right at this moment.
Now explain how construction is going to factor into this, because the last exhibit that opened, Oklahoma Trails, opened behind schedule. Is the construction for their new exhibit going to be done in time for them to get back?
This is going to be a much flatter site. And what we are going to do, and we have requested this of the architect, is we want them to, we're going to go through the whole design phase, because this is going to be part of a larger Asian-themed exhibit. These are two Asian elephants, so the whole exhibit's not just elephants, so we're doing a number of other exhibits around there as well. But the architect is under the understanding and is confident that what we will do is go through the design process. What we will build first is the elephant exhibit. And so we may get the elephants back here before the exhibit's complete, but that gives us the opportunity to get the elephants back here. They can get used to their new facilities and stuff. They can have their offspring. And then we'd open up the whole Asian exhibit as a whole, and the visitors will get to see a brand new exhibit that also has our elephants in a brand new facility.
Now explain why they have to be back here in time. Explain how the pregnancy factors into that.
Well, pregnancy for an Asian elephant is 22 months. That's the gestation. That's how long they carry before they go to term. So we generally want to transport them no later than about 18 months to bring them back down here into their pregnancy, and that's based off of a lot of knowledge. We've worked with the experts who are experts in the field about elephant pregnancies. There's a number of people out there, and so that's what they've recommended. So that's where we've fixed our timeline on.
Now explain the difference between where they're living now at the Oklahoma City Zoo and where they'll be living in the Asia exhibit. I know that there are going to be a lot of changes. It's not going to look the same as it does now. Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's going to be, it'll look pretty much nothing like what we have now. When our facility was built, and we still have a good facility, but our facility was built 50 years ago, and it was state-of-the-art back then. And it's a good facility, but it's not a great facility. And it's only designed to hold two animals. We can't bring in a bull, so that's why we're sending our animals up to Tulsa. We can't bring in a bull there. The new barn, their indoor facilities, will be much larger. They'll have multiple rooms that they can move through. They'll probably have natural substrate rather than a concrete floor. They'll have natural, the whole thing may not be natural substrate. They'll have a big play area where we can open up multiple stalls and the group can hang together. They'll have dirt to dig around in. And then the yards, will have a number of yards that are going to be exhibit yards and different yards that they can rotate through. As I said, our hope is to have a bull down here at some point. But we can't. But as I said, we can't keep them together. So they'll rotate through different yards. So they'll get different experiences every day. New yards, they'll get the smells of, hey, the bull was in here yesterday. So it'll be exciting.
Well, what are the long-term plans for the herd? I know that you want them to come back here and have the calves and then maybe bring in a bull. What are the long-term plans beyond that?
Well, what we'll probably do is we'll probably look to bring in a couple more older females to add to our herd. Herds are generally females and then their offspring, their youngsters, and eventually at some point males, when they reach sexual maturity, will leave that herd. But we're hoping, obviously, for 2 offspring, and then we're hoping to bring in at least 1 bull. We're designing the facility to actually be able to take 2 bulls, and that is in part to assist, because bulls are solitary. There's a need for space for them throughout AZA institutions because you can't house them with a group, so you need spaces to hold them individually.
Well, great. Well, thank you for coming in and talking to me, Brian. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having me.